with the Rhythm Foundation and with our friends from the United Way. So we are going to get started this morning with a brief welcome from our Vice President for Multicultural Tourism and Development, Miss Connie Kennard. Good morning, Connie.
Good morning and good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us and thank you, John. And I'm going to give a shout out to Allie, although she's going to be behind the scenes. This is a partnership collaboration. And so thank you, Allie, for all of your work. John and I are kind of I guess, co-hosting today. This session will be very interesting from my standpoint, from a multiculturalism diversity. Both of these organizations that you'll hear from this morning serve our community. They serve a diverse group in our community in their own way. So we're excited about hearing from both of the organizations, and I know you will as well. And I think at the end, John, I'll come back and give everybody on a few highlights of some events coming up. Thanks.
Fantastic, Connie. Thank you. And so a little bit of ground rules for this morning's coffee and conversation. As you hopefully see, we are recording this session and we will be posting it later on our website, and it'll be available to you to rewatch for hours and hours on end, because there's going to be a lot of great information in here. I'll remind everyone to please remain on mute. Cameras on or off is your option. We do have a chat session going. If you have any questions during the presentations, we encourage you to leave them into the chat feed. Allie will be kindly monitoring the chat feed for us today. And we will also open up for questions at the very end of these presentations. And so with that, I'm thrilled to welcome our good friends from the Rhythm Foundation. Today we have with us James, Renee, and Christina, all from the Rhythm Foundation. I'm going to introduce and turn it over to Renee for his presentation and hear about all of the fantastic things that are happening on Miami Beach and at the Miami Beach Bandshell. Good morning, Renee.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Thank you. We have James Quillen as well, who's the director of the Rhythm Foundation. James, you want to say a couple of words before?
Just wanted to thank John and Connie for inviting us today. We really appreciate this opportunity to speak with this great group. We feel like we're longtime partners of the Bureau. We've done many things over the years. This is our 35th season, so we're not newcomers, but we do have a lot of new, exciting news to talk about, especially about the Miami Beach Bandshell. So I'm really glad we have our two team members here. Renee is our partnerships manager, and that's a pretty wide-ranging title, as you could imagine. And our marketing and communications manager, Christina Collins, is also here to add to the conversation. So thanks for taking the time this morning, and I'm going to turn it over to our team members.
Thank you, everyone. I'm going to share. I'm going to start off with the video. This is a PSA spot that we do on BreezeLine every month. And then we'll go into a small presentation.
Sedona in the spring, your hands inside my ring, chocolate covered face, all of the things you said to me, all of the lives you wanna lead. I don't want it, I don't want it, all of the things you said to me, all of the lives you wanna lead. I don't want it.
So that was just a quick PSA here to show some of our calendar for February. And we'll go into here. So I'll be talking to you today about the Miami Beach Bandshell, which was just recently changed. Our name last year was changed from the North Beach Bandshell to the Miami Beach Bandshell to just bring an overall, just more of the arts and culture overall, what's going on in Miami Beach right now. So the Miami Beach Bandshell was started in 1961. It was built by Norman Geller. And throughout the years, it's gone through some major transformations. It had some quiet times. And in 2015,
Renee, I'm sorry to interrupt, but if you've got a presentation going on, we're not seeing it. We're just seeing a blank screen. So we may need to share the other screen or another window.
Got it. Okay, give me a second here.
Sorry to interrupt.
No, that's
I
fine.
was wondering if it was me. Thanks, John.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, perfect. Perfect.
Okay. I just had to pick it. Great. So yeah, so the bandshell was built in 1961. It's gone through some major transformations throughout the years. It went through some quiet times. Mike Douglas show was shown in 1960s. There was a roller skate rink back in the day. And the Rhythm Foundation was awarded management by the city of Miami Beach in 2015. Since then, we've been building, just really connecting with different organizations and different foundations to really give an overall well-rounded programming throughout the year. So we'd like to say we have the 3 C's. We have a cultural programming, we have community, and we have commercial shows. So throughout the year, we really focus on a lot of multicultural events, bringing in global music, and really trying to work with all the nonprofit organizations and different organizations around Miami and opening up our doors. We've done, everything from, we do a lot of cultural exchanges with the Italian consulate, with the German consulate. We work a lot. We do Juneteenth, just a lot of different Fête de la Musique. So in 2020, the canopy was finished. The canopy was a huge part of what now is our new bandshell, because it gives us options to do shows all year round, and we don't have to cancel the shows. So all our shows are rain or shine. So we have an all-weather canopy. Also in 2021, we all got all new seating. So we have removable seating system. It used to be steel benches back in the day, so not very comfortable for a show. We've improved all our amenities, all our hospitality. We have a full bar. We have food. We created a club box level area for our patrons and for other VIP guests. We purchased a new LED screen for the on stage, which we've now done way more than a dozen film festivals since we've purchased that LED screen. We've enhanced all our video lighting and sound as well. And now we are a full live stream capable building. So during the pandemic, we never stopped, basically, during the pandemic. We tested all the band members and we kept our staff working throughout the pandemic, and we shot about 33 live streams, accounting to about 300,000 views during that time. So it was very successful. Our venue capacity for seated shows are 800 seated, and we can surpass the 1350 max standing capacity up to about 1,400 people. We can do GA shows. So the VIP area, the club box level that I was speaking of, it has 10 club box areas that fit up to 6 to 10 people per club box. So those are really nice to do birthday parties, have groups of friends, enjoy your show, have your own little space area. And we do have servers that come and take your orders as well. As always, we are ADA compliance. So we do have ADA viewing areas for wheelchair and accessibility throughout the whole entire building. So that's a great thing. Our general audience varies all the time, just because we are so diverse in the shows that we do from week to week. We could go from a Brazilian film festival to an Argentinian band the following day to a reggae band that Sunday. So really, every weekend, it's so different with so many different multicultural backgrounds. And we're very proud of that. With the initiative now that the city of Miami Beach has taken to really showcase the arts and culture, and with the GEO bond that just passed, we will be benefiting from that greatly. And we will be elevating all our programming and really just taking the bandshell to the next level. It's going to be a state-of-the-art venue. We're going to be rewiring the whole bandshell to basically create a more immersive experience. We're going to be putting in projectors to do 3D mapping on the canopy. We're going to be putting in screens throughout the venue for when we do live streaming. You can catch different angles of the musicians. And these are some of our notable past events that we've done in the past. The Rhythm Foundation actually started the Transatlantic Music Festival in 2003 at the North Beach Bandshell. And throughout the years, they continue to do festivals there. And, little by little, it became our home. So we've done everything from the Super Bowl, the Grunk Beach Festival, which is a 3-day music festival, when the Super Bowl came through town, House of Creative Music Festival, and then I'll go in a little bit more into our yearly program. Here are some great gallery pictures of some classic shots from the George Clinton, the Parliament Funk that we just had last year during a tropical storm, which the canopy helped us out a lot. We have the New Deco, who's been a partner for us for years from the beginning. Some shots here of the Juneteenth and some local stuff. We've been, the Miami New Times has given us the best live music venue, 2 years. Here you go. Here's a little quote from them. And our beautiful aerial shot here of the bandshell. And then here's some of our seasonal programming that the Rhythm Foundation is responsible for. We have the North Beach Social every third Thursday, where we bring in affiliate groups and we do receptions for them. This month in February coming up, we're teaming up with the FIU Museum to host them and the Turn the Beat Around exhibit that they're doing. Next month, we have the Miami Beach Chamber of Commerce, who's doing an award ceremony. And I believe in April, we are teaming up with the United Way Young Leaders to host their reception as well. So if there's any organizations that are interested in participating in one of our North Beach Social, definitely reach out to us. We have the Arts in the Park, which is another one of our community initiatives programs that we do. I'll talk a little bit about that once we go into our programming. But these are all free events, open to the community. And we've started the Seaside Summer Sessions series last year, which is an initiative that we've been talking about for a couple of years. And it's more like a summer stage, what New York has. So kind of when things are starting to slow down in Miami in the summertime, really activate and do programming during the day for family and kids, wellness events, workshops, and then going to the nighttime and have some shows. And then we have the Youth Music Festival, which is one of our favorites. I believe we're going on the 8th edition of the Youth Music Festival. And here we pick the best of all every music video that's been sent in to us. We have a panel that we pick some of the best artists. So we have 3 stages for the Youth Music Festival. It goes into the park and it's about 22 to 23 bands throughout the day. And it's just a beautiful event. You have all these young kids from the ages of 8 to 18 performing. They have a real live stage to perform at and all their family and friends watching. So here's our annual cultural tourism events. We have the South Beach Jazz Festival that we just finished this month. It was a sold out event, so very proud of that. We have the Ground Up Music Festival that's coming up now at the beginning of February. Actually, it's next week. And that's been around for about 6 to 7 years as well. And it's jazz, funky. It's really contemporary jazz bands that come in. We've also brought in the Blue Note Jazz group from New York to do pop-ups at the Miami Beach Bandshell. Notable shows we've had Arturo Sandoval, George Clinton and the Parliament Funk, Robert Glasper, Common. So it's some great events. And then we have the North Beach Music Festival that's on its second year, and it was hugely successful this year, which brought in a lot of tourism. About 60% of the attendees were from out of town. So that was a really good one. So here's a little bit of our calendar in February, starting with the Ground Up Music Festival. Just, you can take a look. We'll be sending out this deck to everybody so you can have it and really look at the calendar when you have some more time. But as you can see, we have the South Beach Wine and Food Festival coming in, South Florida Symphony Orchestra, Big Thief, which was nominated for Grammy. In March, some notable shows are the Global Cuba Fest, which we've been doing, collaborating with Fundarte for years, Arts in the Park, Children's Voice, and Newfound Glory, a pop band from the 90s and 2000s, and some ballet for the Arts in the Park to finish off the month. And the North Beach Social, which is our program. Here's some of the shows for Arts in the Park as well, with the ballet and the Children's Voice. And I'm not sure why this is pixelated, but we have the Youth Music Festival poster here, and some notable shows, eBay Cuban French Sisters that performed in 2017. They did their Florida debut with the Rhythm Foundation, and we're bringing them back this year. Here's our April, some notable shows at ZBE. We have Out in the Tropics, La Dame Blanche, from Cuba, and the Basilos, who are Grammy-nominated group. And here's some more info on some of the performers. And then we go into our private events. Not only do we do live performance and community events, but we have the venue open for anybody that would be interested in doing a private event at the Bandshell. We've done everything from weddings, bar mitzvahs, award ceremonies, film screenings, fundraisers, galas, company gatherings. So if anybody's interested, you can reach out to us here at the office, and we'd be happy to coordinate any budgets or walkthroughs for private events. And then we get to our end here, how to get involved. You know, we would love for you guys to come join us at any of the shows that we have. We also do donations for our yearly programming. We do have the Rhythm Foundation membership. We have 3 different tiers. Our lowest tier is our Friends tier that starts at $250. That gets you into, you know, some private shows. We have discount codes for our members. We have a members entrance as well. You get invited to our club box on GA shows for different levels of membership. We also have the Miami Beach Bandshell sponsorship. So as a yearly sponsor of the Miami Beach Bandshell, there's a lot of things that are beneficial for marketing. So one of the big things that we have is we have a marquee on Collins Avenue that's repeatedly doing 24/7, showing your logo, any kind of imagery that you would want to put on there. We have the LED screen inside. And then we have basically just different other benefits that we'd have, like live links on our website. We put you on all our marketing material, things like that. And partner with us to spread the word and book some private events. So Christina, I don't know if you'd like to talk a little bit more on how we can collaborate on marketing and promotions But those are one of the things that we would love to coordinate with other organizations on how we can cross promote each other and spread the word. Thank you, everyone. Well, that's my presentation. And
Hi, yeah, I can speak briefly about partnering in the marketing perspective. On a basic level, if there's any shows coming up that you would like to help us spread the word about, you're always welcome to reach out and we can share any kind of imagery and information, links, whatever's helpful. We're always open to trade opportunities and co-branding opportunities where it makes sense. So we could get other organizations involved and help promote your work in a trade fashion where you help promote the show if it's a good fit. And yeah, so we're always open to doing creative activations and working with different organizations in whatever way makes sense. So yeah, I think I'll leave it there.
Well, thank you so much, Renee, Christina, and James. It was a pleasure to have you here with us. As Ali mentioned in the chat, we are going to have some trivia prizes at the end of our presentation today. And so I hope you were paying attention to that fantastic presentation by Renee. And we will have some trivia prizes a little bit later on. I think they might even have some tickets to the bandshell to one of their upcoming events. So thank you again. If you have questions, drop them in the chat. We will have a Q&A session at the conclusion of the next presentation. So please stick around for that and get your questions ready. It is now my pleasure to welcome from the United Way, Alexandra O'Keefe. And Alexandra is kind enough to be with us today to share news about what's happening with the United Way, about how you can get involved. The GMCVB is a proud supporter of the United Way and have been for many years. And so they're a fabulous partner. And with that, I'll turn it over to Alexandra. Good morning.
Thank you, John. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for having us. So as John mentioned, I'm basically going to explain an overview of who we are and what we do and upcoming opportunities that we currently have. And alongside me, I have Derek Augusti, who is going to give a testimonial on his experience that he had benefiting through some of our services during the presentation. So I'm going to start off with our campaign video for this year. So just give me 1 second. All right, so this year our theme is Without You, We Can't Help Those in Need. And so who we are and what we do. So at United Way Miami, our mission is to improve the quality of life for all by bringing together people and resources committed to building a better community. So we focus on serving our ALICE population. So that is our asset limited income constrained employed. Now, these are individuals who are right at that poverty level. However, they don't qualify for government assistance. So that's where we step in and where our funding goes towards helping these families.
A beautiful city celebrates its diversity, and everyone really wants the same things: access to quality education, the opportunity to lead healthy and financially secure lives. But life doesn't always have the same way of stacking up. The daily struggle for many is real. Young, old, from Homestead to Hialeah. Life doesn't discriminate. When a major repair that you can't afford becomes an unexpected emergency, it has devastating results, affecting your livelihood. Change can happen over time, or in an instant. Life turned upside down. The young and vulnerable are navigating a very different world. Social media, bullying, So much pressure, so much to feel. When their military service is done, how do veterans find their way back to civilian life? And when the world gets smaller, who cares? Is there anyone there? Since 1924, United Way Miami has been there, funding over 100 programs to ensure children receive quality early education. Families get the support they need to become financially secure and help to ensure older adults don't go hungry and receive the care they need, even during hurricanes, recessions, or pandemics. Through matching grants, corporate gifts, and more, United Way Miami more than doubles the impact of your donation. But we can't do it without you, because without you, someone like Angela can't keep the lights on. Someone like Frank will lose his job if he can't get to work. Without you, someone like Sandra won't get help with food and childcare for her young daughter. Someone like Samuel won't be able to productively reacclimate into society. Someone like Olivia won't get the after-school care and guidance that could make a real difference in her life. Without you, Oscar will have to choose between food and medicine. But with you, we can make a real difference in our community. Let's build a stronger Miami together. Give now. United Way Miami.
Sorry about that. Okay, can everyone see the screen again? Great. So as displayed in the video, 54% of households are currently in poverty or one emergency from falling into poverty. And that's a pretty high amount. That's just in Miami-Dade. 23% of children are living in poverty or below the level as well. 47% of seniors have had to visit a food pantry, and over 50% of veterans struggle to find sustainable employment. Now, each United Way has different pillars of focus on the needs, based on the needs in the community. So what we're seeing here in Miami-Dade is we need to enhance education, financial stability, and health. So these are our three main pillars of focus and where our dedicated funding goes towards. So now I have Derek, who will give us a brief testimonial on his experience using our Mission United program as a veteran.
Thank you so much, Alex. I appreciate it. Well, good morning, everyone. And I am thoroughly honored and privileged to be with you all this very morning. As Alex mentioned, I am a veteran. I did serve in the United States Army for 11 years. You might hear a Brooklyn accent. That's because I was born there and lived there long enough to get the accent, but I'm a Miami kid at heart. I moved here when I was a little kid and grew up in Miami. I didn't know entering the military how transformative that experience will be. I was very much in a mindset that, I take my uniform off and I'm back to being Derek, sergeant, soldier, that gets hung up on the closet once the uniform comes off. It wasn't until I separated from the military that I realized how much of my identity had become the military. And that became the challenge in making that reacclimation. All of my friends were in the military. All of my network was in the military. All of my conversations that I had were in the military. I spent nearly 5 years away from home over my 11-year career. So you can imagine how difficult that is to maintain a relationship with your loved ones. To say that I felt like an outsider in my own home is an understatement. My wife and kids lived their lives day to day and had to operate in a way that didn't include me because they didn't know when I was going to be pulled away to serve or when I was going to go to school or have to stay and camp at some locations. So when I got out of the military and I was home every day, I remember vividly the first few mornings that I was up making breakfast, helping my wife and kids get off to work and school. And my kids were calling me mom because that's what they were used to. My daughter asked my wife to help her pick out an outfit for school. And she needed a couple items in order to have this outfit put together. And my wife looked just flabbergasted and said, "Why didn't you ask your father?" And she said, "I didn't know I could." That was my relationship with my family. I was an outsider looking in. So when you think of an opportunity and say a safe space, there's still some challenges in just reacclimating to your family, let alone the larger community. And then you step outside of my family, and Miami is not a military town. There isn't a big military presence. So it's very difficult to find individuals who know and understand what that experience was like. Add to that the challenge of trying to figure out exactly what the heck's going on with you. I was suffering from PTSD and didn't know it. Because in the military, hypervigilance, hyper-awareness, anxiety around not being comfortable in crowded spaces, sitting with your back to doors, these are all things that are normal in a military setting. It's not until you're outside of that setting that you realize there's something off here. One of my plans getting out of the military was to take advantage of the GI Bill. And with the GI Bill, it allows you to receive a monthly housing allowance in order to help you focus on school. So that was my plan. My plan was I'd get out of the military and I'd go to school until I figured out what I'm going to do next. I didn't realize the impact of losing over 50% of my household income overnight. Like, that never dawned on me. Like, I knew it was going to happen. It was expected to happen, but I didn't realize the actual impact of it happening until there was a day I was in class and the professor gave us a poem to read of a little girl from Haiti. And she talked about her trouble and being taken advantage of while living in Haiti. One of the deployments I went on was to Haiti in response to the earthquake. And I lived in Haiti for 3 months in a humanitarian mission. And this was the first time that I had to confront whatever emotions that I had bottled up and pushed aside in order to focus on the mission. And I'm sitting in class and I'm reading this poem and I start shaking, I start sweating, I can't breathe, I start hyperventilating, and I get up and walk out of class. And in my rational thought, I said to myself, I never want to put myself in that position again. So I stopped going to class because I thought the class was the issue. And I never want to put myself in a position where I was so out of control of who I was. So naturally speaking, there goes my monthly housing allowance. I'm no longer receiving compensation for my service in the military. I'm no longer receiving that one thing that I thought would hold me over. That's gone now too. And I became so depressed to the point where I wouldn't get off the couch. And I would just lay there. And my wife, she'd come home from work. And for the first time that we've known each other, she looked at me with a look of helplessness. Because never before did she have to help me. Never before did she ever see me in that state of mind. I was a soldier. I was a leader. I jumped out of planes for my job, for crying out loud, right? There was no fear. And if there was, I'd confront it. But this was a battle that I didn't know how to fight. And she didn't know how to help me. Well, naturally, things got out of control financially. Couldn't make mortgage payments, living off of credit cards. I couldn't bring myself to seek help. My pride got in the way. And that was until a chance meeting with United Way's Miss United. I had a chance to meet the director at the time, and he served in the military, and he said to me, let's have a conversation. Call me when you need some help. And I was like, okay, great. And I took his card and I put it in my pocket, because everything on the outside, I could play this, I could play the play, right? I can act, I can make sure everything seems hunky-dory to everyone else. My neighbors had no idea what the heck was going on with me, right? The only people that knew something was off was me, my wife, and my kids. That's it. So I took his card. Yep, got it. Everything's good to go. Put it in my pocket, went about my business. Until I got served foreclosure papers. That was the thing that knocked me off my feet, where I was going to lose my house. And I knew along with that, I was going to lose my family. And that terrified me. And I had to swallow my pride. And I had to let go of trying to figure things out myself because it wasn't working. And I went and spoke with this gentleman. And he gave me something of so much value. He gave me the belief system that I can do it, that I still had the skills necessary that I had learned from the military, that I can apply them to the civilian world and I can succeed. He got me financial coaching. He gave me a plan. He gave me a new mission. And his common language was the thing that I needed to hear in order to be able to get back onto my feet again, to start doing the incremental things that would get my house out of foreclosure. So I was able to save my house. I was able to go back to school. I was able to graduate. I was able to volunteer in the community and be a leader to other veterans on how to make that transition, and that it's okay to feel a particular way, but more importantly, it's okay to get the support you need to succeed. And so now today that I get to sit here, I get to sit in my office as the director of the Office of Veteran Military Affairs at FIU. I'm able to now take this energy and give it back. And so today I wanted to come on here to share my story, because guess what? Your neighbors might be going through things that you're not aware of. Your friends might be going through things that you're not aware of. And they might have a smile on their face, but they could be struggling inside. And if it wasn't for individuals who took the time, talent, and treasure and gave it to United Way and said, this is a population that we want to serve, that we want to help. We don't know who they are, but the resources will be there when they need it. My life was saved. My family was saved. I have a relationship now with my wife and kids like I could have never dreamed of. And it's all in part to the community that rallied around, people who have no idea who I am, who took care to make sure that I didn't struggle. Or at least if I did struggle, I had the resources to help me out of it. So that's my message today. My message today is United Way is a great place to offer your talent, treasure, and resources and your time to serve a member of our community. And it very well may be your neighbor. So thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to share my story. This story is not mine alone. Please let people know about it, that this is something real that's happening in our city. It's not some far off place that we can't touch or feel. It's happening in our backyards. And I am just grateful that I get to sit here and say thank you for anything and everything that you're doing for our community to make it a better place, a more unified place, and a place we all could celebrate. Thank you so very much.
Thank you so much, Derek. Thank you for sharing your story and being open and honest. And now I'm going to further present the many ways to get involved and making that impact to, help other individuals with similar stories. So I'm going to dive deeper into our different ways of getting involved, but In general, as always, you can make a donation, volunteer, join one of our giving communities, attend events, and as always, advocate. So we have several volunteer opportunities. I'll share each link that I'm going to review in the chat so everyone has access to it. But these are just different examples of ways to get involved. So we partner with Volunteer Miami. So if you just log on to volunteermiami.org, we have volunteer opportunities through us, but we also have volunteer opportunities through local nonprofits in the area as well. So it varies from professional development workshops, kit packing projects, outdoor cleanups, beach cleanups, etc. And if you have children with those lovely volunteer hours, this is a great way to get those hours and get them out in the community. And it's just a very rewarding experience as well. Just, you know, taking 2 hours of your morning on a Saturday to go with your family and help individuals in our community. So we do actually have our first upcoming big volunteer event. So it's our MLK Day of Service. It is now going to be held on Saturday, February 4th from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Girl Scouts of Tropical Florida. And as I mentioned, I'm going to post this in the chat as well. So we're going to have various opportunities to be able to clean, paint, and really redo their outdoor spaces. We love technology. Okay, so as I mentioned, another way to get involved through United Way is through our giving communities. So these are different networking opportunities that we have. There's different groups varying upon age and the amount your donation has. So I'll just briefly go through them. So LINK is our Lead Impact Network Change group. So this is for individuals 30 and under. If you donate $250 for the year, and that can be distributed through payroll, different amounts. We have several options. Feel free to contact me after to further explain. And these are just great ways to get involved, to not only network with other individuals in the community professionally, but just to meet individuals. I know we're still working hybrid schedules, remote, it's difficult to get out there, and this is just an easy way to meet new individuals. So we also have our Young Leaders group, which is ages 30 to 40 and $1,000 donation. We have our Women United and Men United, and as well as our Top Leadership Tocqueville Society. So with companies, we do what we call a workplace campaign. So this provides corporate partners a vehicle for uniting employees and a coordinated opportunity to give back. So as mentioned in the beginning, GMCVB has worked with United Way in the past, and we're currently working on planning a workplace campaign so that individuals who are on the call who are employed through GMCVB can have that set time frame to coordinate fundraisers, coordinate volunteer events where your dollars will specifically go from GMCVB to United Way Miami. And our point of contact for GMCVB is actually my colleague, Micaiah Kelly. She is a development officer as well. So I have her information here on the screen to get in touch with planning that workplace campaign and other opportunities as well. But I'll also put my contact information just in case. And lastly, as always, we can't make a difference without you. And I hope you enjoyed the presentation.
Thank you so much, Alexandra, and thank you so much, Derek. It was a pleasure to get to hear from you, Derek, especially your story. It was very impactful, and I know it means a lot to all of us to hear how the United Way have helped you and your family. And so thank you again for sharing that testimonial today. And Alexandra, always fantastic to hear from the United Way. They do so much in our community and are such a big part of what makes Miami such a fantastic place to live, to work, and to share in community. And so we thank you and the United Way for all that you do.
Thank
Hey,
you.
John.
Thank
I'm
Ali.
sorry. I'm sorry. It's Mark Henderson. I just have a quick question to Derek. Where in Brooklyn were you born?
Kings County, Bay Ridge.
Bay Ridge, okay. Bedford Stuyve on Green Avenue.
It's always great to connect with a fellow Brooklyn accented person.
Yeah. That is so true. Well, good to see you on Zoom, and God bless you for all you've done, brother.
Thank you so much, sir. I appreciate
You're
it.
welcome, sir.
And with that, we will offer any questions that anyone has for either of our two groups here today. Please feel free to drop it into the chat. I think we have a small enough group where if anyone would like to actually unmute themselves and throw a question out to the group, feel free to do that. In the meantime, while we're waiting for questions, I've got a few questions for our friends from the Rhythm Foundation. Renee, can you tell us a little bit about the parking situation that you have over there at the Miami Beach Bandshell?
Yeah, of course. We're actually really lucky to have one of the only areas in Miami with free parking after 6 o'clock. So hopefully that lasts for a couple of more years as we redevelop. But we have a parking lot right across the street from the Miami Beach Bandshell that fits probably anywhere between like 300 cars out there. And then there's just street parking all along the area. Yeah.
Fantastic.
So have some great local restaurants. You can have a bite and then come see a show. But yeah, we're lucky enough to be able to offer free parking after 6 in our neighborhood.
Fantastic. That's great to hear. And so also as a follow-up to that, you mentioned being able to actually rent the bandshell for private events. I know you have the bandshell, the outdoor area with the stage and the amphitheater, but isn't there also an auxiliary building located on the property? Is that available for rent as well?
Well, that doesn't, with the Rhythm Foundation, doesn't work with that building. That's called the Unidad Center, and it's a senior center that's run by another organization.
I see. Okay, good to know. Good to know. Thank you for that. Alexandra, I've got a question for you as a follow-up. You know, the GMCVB as an organization has a giving plan. Are any organizations able to set up those kinds of giving opportunities for their employees? And do you have a minimum threshold for a size of a company that you're able to work with?
Yes, so we do focus also on new businesses. So if anyone is on who we already don't partner with, we do welcome new businesses to join in our partnership. And I can also get back with further information on that, as I don't have the rest of that right now. But yes, we do always welcome new partnerships, and we're willing to set up any meetings to go over if your company is interested in having a relationship with United Way.
Fantastic. So for our partners out there that are on the coffee this morning, keep that in mind for your organization. If you're not involved with United Way, it's a great opportunity for team building and for uniting together as an organization to help support our local community. I'm not seeing any further questions in the chat. I don't see any hands raised. I'll give it another brief moment here. Okay, well then I think we are on to trivia time. And trivia time today is going to be very exciting. We have 2 prizes and 2 trivia questions. The first trivia question will be for the Rhythm Foundation, and then we'll do one for the United Way. Our prizes today from the Rhythm Foundation will be a pair of tickets. Is that correct, Renee?
Yes, we're giving away 2 tickets to the Big Thief show on February 21st.
All right, that sounds amazing. So here are the rules for today's trivia contest. So the winner must type the answer into the chat. And so we need the answer to the trivia question into the chat associated with your name. It will be the first correct answer that will win the trivia prize. And Allie, is staff allowed to enter? Yes or no? No, unfortunately, GMCVB staff, you are not eligible for today's trivia contest. However, all of our partners are certainly, we invite you to participate in today's trivia contest. And so as I mentioned, get the fingers ready for the answer into the chat window. And here is today's question from the Rhythm Foundation presentation. And the question is, what year was the Miami Beach bandshell built? Renee, do you see an answer in there?
Oh yeah, people jumped in quick. Yes,
Who's first?
From Freebie said it right.
Gus Doyle from Freebie, congratulations. You've won a pair of tickets to the Miami Beach bandshell with an answer of 1961. 1961 was the year that the bandshell was built. Gus was paying attention. Close, Eric, a 1921, a little bit later, and Gladys also was correct with 1961. Well, congratulations again, Gus. Our team will be reaching out to you to ensure we connect you to the Rhythm Foundation so that you are able to take advantage of those wonderful tickets to the upcoming show. And so we are ready for trivia question number 2. And this question comes from Alexandra's presentation with United Way. And again, get your fingers ready. We're going to be looking for the answer inside the chat room. So the question from the United Way presentation: name one of the 3 pillars of the United Way. Name one of the 3 pillars of the United Way. Alexandra, let me know if you see a correct answer in the chat.
We got another one quickly. So the first one was health from Charlotte. Let's see, I can't see the full name. Donna.
Charlotte Dawn.
Charlotte with Vizcaya, congrats, awesome.
Yes, Charlotte from Vizcaya with health. And I also see Cassidy and Gladys and Grace all with correct answers for education. And the 3rd pillar was financial literacy. And so very good answers. Congratulations, Charlotte. Charlotte, today you are winning a $50 gift card to Paracones. Paracones, the Miami eatery that everyone loves in downtown. So Charlotte, we will connect you with you and get that gift card to you. And with that, I'm going to turn it back over to Allie for some closing updates. I know we've got some things going on. I also know that Connie has an update she wants to share with us about an upcoming event as well. So we'll go Allie, and then Connie will let you close it out today.
Awesome, thanks, John, and thanks again, Alexandra and Rhythm Foundation team, Renee, James, and sorry, the other person,
Christina.
Thank you so much for the presentation. Sorry, Christina, just meeting you for the first time. So thanks again, everyone, for joining us. It was a great event. John, thanks for facilitating, and Connie for your support. We do have a couple Miami Begins With Me trainings coming up. So we encourage everyone, if you haven't taken that, it's a wonderful opportunity to get more familiar with our destination and just grow your continued sense of pride for all the amazing things we have to offer our residents and our visitors. So the more we know, the more we can share, and the more we share, the more people can enjoy. So definitely, let's see, next Tuesday, we have a training at the Coral Gables Museum. That's from 9 to noon. Then the following Thursday, which is February 9th, we will be in the city of Doral at their new offices. And so we'll be working with the team there in the city of Doral to host a wonderful class. They include breakfast, you get a certificate of graduation at the end. We hosted one successfully yesterday at the United Way offices, so thank you to their team for being here. Alexandra, you helped, I think you advanced the slides as well for us, so thank you. Thanks again to everyone for joining, and now I will pass it to Ms. Connie Kennard to bring us home.
Very good. Thank you. Thanks, everyone, again. So many great events in our destination. We can't name them all, so make sure the Rhythm Foundation has an event that was mentioned. Go to their website, United Ways event coming up, their service. Please go. A few GMCVB collaborations that I did want to mention. The first is tomorrow, Art of Black Miami. There is an art talk at the African Heritage Cultural Center in Liberty City. Starts at 6 p.m. Great talk from our artists and art educators. We hope you'll be there, and I believe the link is in our chat. On Friday, collaboration, Jose Marti opening reception in Hialeah exhibit and reception. Please attend that. Great to get out again and see the art and learn a little history and culture about our destination. And then lastly, partnership next week. Well, no, is it next week? Maybe the next week, February the 8th. We'll have a partner breakfast. It's a collaboration, of course, between Partnership, Allie's department, the Miami, Greater Miami-Dade Chamber of Commerce. I believe I see Eric Knowles on this call, as well as Mark Henderson, board members. We will have a networking breakfast, honestly, to network, meet partners, and also in honor of Black History Month. So here are a few events. Please go to our website, miamiandbeaches.com, for more events. And I think that wraps it up. To everyone, be well. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you all. See you soon.
Bye,
Bye,
everybody.
everyone.
Bye.
Good day.
Bye. So much.
Everyone.
Mhm.